So typically with a garbage disposal, there's usually three things you could fix. Either the circuit breaker is tripped, or your entire disposal is stuck and you have to spin it with one of these disposal wrenches, or that the blades in the middle, which there are usually two blades called impeller blades that actually break down the bones and the food, are rusted shut and just stuck. So I'm going to go through each one of those and troubleshoot it with you. So the first one I mentioned was the reset. So often is the case, underneath the disposal, what you have is a reset button, and typically the reset button is either red or gray. So in my case, you could see it's this button right here. So you want to try and make sure this button is not tripped. Usually it is on the bottom of your disposal, so that's the first thing you should check. The second thing you should check if your disposal is not running at all is, take your disposal wrench here, and usually this comes with the garbage disposal when you buy it. Now you could buy this also at a hardware store or Home Depot. You could see how deep this is. You take it and you put it in the middle here. And you can see how I have it inset in the middle, and you start twisting it. You start twisting it left to right, like that, and spinning it, and you would basically unjam whatever is jammed against the edges. So that's the second tip. The third tip is when the impeller blades in the middle are actually stuck. So that blade has seized, as had that opposite one. So there's only two blades here. And so if that doesn't spin, even though the disposal itself spins around, it doesn't really help much, as it doesn't cut up the food. So believe it or not, this right here is actually the solution. So what you see here is a rack of ribs. So what the ribs are going to do is the rib bones are going to be put into this disposal. It's going to spin, and it's going to knock those blades in the middle loose. So even though it's like tight shut, it's rusted tight shut, I can't even push it with the screwdrivers. These ribs are going to hit it very violently, back and forth, randomly all over the place. So what you could also do is, if you don't have spare ribs, but it is an excuse to just eat spare ribs. But anyway, you can use chicken bones. So chicken bones are not as strong as these spare ribs. So I'm not sure if the chicken bones are strong enough to work. But you could also try to use ice, anything that's hard that will knock back and forth and loosen that up. So even though it seems like it's impossible and it's shut tight and rusted tight, it's worth a shot. So here I'm going to use my rack of ribs. I'm going to enjoy the ribs first, clean it up a little bit, because if it doesn't work, I have to pull it back out, and I don't want it to be messy. So I'm actually going to wash the rib bones before I dump it into the disposal. So just keep that in mind. I'm going to try it out after I enjoy these ribs and show you the results. Alright, so the moment of truth is here. I am going to stick these three bones into the disposal, turn it on, and see if it actually dislodges the two impeller blades that are there. So you can see that's what's stuck. So those are not budging at all. They're a little bit rusted, even though it's stainless steel. So here you go. I'm going to stick in three. And the reason why I'm sticking in three first is because I'm going to have to dig these out if this doesn't work out. There might be a chance it won't work, in which case I'm just going to have to remove them. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave it running for 30 seconds or so, and then let it rest. Otherwise the motor itself might overheat. So here you go. I will be turning it on, covering it just in case. Letting it rattle around. So if you notice, that noise actually is a good thing. It sounds good that it actually dislodged there. You know, so let me go ahead, take a look, see if it's dislodged. Alright, so I got myself a screwdriver. Can take this out and see which particular one is moving. So basically the bones worked. You could see it if I move this, and I could use the screwdriver. Now you notice I move that off center. So it's actually pretty awesome. That's really it. So, you know, the magic. Alright, I hope this helps, and please subscribe, and thank you for watching.